Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 co-op video. Today I'll be explaining why the Hatchet Rocks build that is widely used by Kerrigan players is inferior to the early Queen build that I've been promoting recently. First, let's look at the two builds side by side. The Hatchet Rocks build will be at the top and the early Queen build will be at the bottom. In case you missed it, here's a screenshot of the supplies at 10 minutes. There are slight differences in supply due to assimilation aura. Prober OL got less because of just die. Also, early queen has 4 supply in lings and a queen, but overall on a map with no early attack waves like OE, they are essentially the same in terms of economy. You can see that both builds are at about the same supply when they were saturated at around 6 minutes. Now it's time to beat Hatch at Rocks down. First of all, on Oblivion Express, making a hatch at the natural would mean your macro hatch is located there. The problem with this is that if there are environmental mutators, the reinforcements might get hurt or even killed on their way to meeting up with the army. Even without environmental mutators, there are sometimes enemies walking along the track. I prefer to put my macro hatches in the main to avoid this minor inconvenience. In addition, a macro hatch in the main would fix the inefficient mining of the left geyser. EQ is very flexible since you can make spine crawlers for defense if necessary. For Hatch at Rocks, the pool finishes at 310, leaving you very little or no time to make spines. On Rifts to Core Hall, EQ just needs to delay gas to get some defense, whereas Hatch at Rocks needs a completely different build. It's much easier to stick with one main build order and just make slight changes for different maps. You will also need a completely different build order for maps with contested expos. You're not just gonna not make a queen, right? You might as well stick with the early queen build order. Instead of making lings, get tech. On maps like Void Launch and Missed Opportunities where the first wave hits before Kerrigan is out, the queen can be a great way to stall the enemies. With Hatch at Rocks, the queen is also at the expo hatch, meaning it won't be able to help out. The queen doesn't come out until almost 4 minutes anyway, so it can't help with defense. You will have to spend more minerals on an extra spine or evil chamber. I've heard arguments saying that early queen wastes money on links. They're not really a waste when they can help stall zerglings and zealots. By stalling, you save money because you don't have to build evils or spines. These links were part of your build anyway, and now they provide even more value. If you're fighting Zerg using HAR, you'll need an evil or 2 to stall enemy links before Kerrigan is out. That means you have to significantly alter your build order on a map like Void Launch because the lings arrive at around 3:30. The next advantage of EQ is that Kerrigan can get straight to work on the objective, clearing encampments. You don't need to waste 30 seconds slapping rocks. If you're against the idea of Dehaka slapping rocks, then you should be against Kerrigan slapping rocks too. Of course, Dehaka slapping rocks is much worse because he needs to level up, but the general idea is the same. Your strong hero unit is hitting rocks instead of clearing encampments. The build order for EQ can be adjusted to get even more gas because the gas rocks go down much sooner than Hatch at Rocks. You can make an extractor at around 2:35 when one of the gas rocks goes down, and it will be ready for mining as soon as the hatch is done at around 3 minutes. On some maps like Tempo or OE, or when you're using P1, you can drop an early creep tumor to start your creep spread early. You should probably still inject once or twice when the queen first comes out. The next few advantages are niche, but can still be helpful. Against Outbreak, you don't need to make a spine in the early game because the queen can stop infested civilians by herself. Against Missile Command, the queen can stop early missiles, whereas with HAR, you will need to get a spore or just get hit. Against Mineral Shields, the queen can break the first Mineral Shields at 240. With Hatch at Rocks, you just lose out on money. Against Killbots, you already have 4 of your 5 units to feed the first bot. With Hatch at Rocks, you'll have to make an evil or links just to feed the bot. Not a big difference, but a difference nonetheless. Hatch at Rocks is at best equal to early queen. Variations seen in the video are due to assimilation aura. However, Hatch at Rocks is not as flexible on maps where the first wave hits earlier than 4 minutes and on maps with contested expos. Hatch at Rocks is only as good as early queen on 2 maps, maybe 3 if you count pattern via void thrashing. And if you're using AI choice, it may be equal in economy against a weak first wave like Adepts on 4 other maps, but that's still less than half. So Hatch at Rocks is just not worth using. In conclusion, early queen is superior to Hatch at Rocks. You can use one build for pretty much every map. You just need to make minor adjustments on maps with contested expos or early waves. This isn't simply my opinion. The numbers and video comparisons back up my claim. So if you're still using Hatch at Rocks, it's time to make the switch. You won't regret it. And that's it for this lesson. Like and subscribe if you are now a believer of early queen. Share this video with your friends who still insist on the Team Liquid build order. Thanks to all the members who are supporting me. If you would like to join, please click the link in the description. This series was requested by members, so if you would like to request some guides, check out the membership details. And while you're here, why don't you check out this video on how to stop early waves as Kerrigan? See you there!